Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's hearing throws the court into an unusual situation. A defendant charged with second-degree trespass gave a name that couldn't be verified. Without confirmation of who they are, the court was left navigating its next steps. The defense argued for the defendant's release on personal recognizance, while the prosecution held firm on not releasing a John Doe. Let's watch how the court handles this legal puzzle.
And sir, good afternoon. What is your name?
Zion.
Your Honor, this here is labeled as a John Doe.
I see. All right. We're going to go ahead and have this individual go into a breakout room with Mr. Songa. Mr. Songa, I will tell you that identity is going to be one of the issues, obviously, that the court is going to want to address while proceeding with the arraignment. So I'll let you speak with this individual about that.
Understood. Thank you. And in Nisqually, if we could please join breakout room 1, that'd be great.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Songa, have you had an opportunity to speak with this gentleman?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
And do we have a name for this person yet?
Yes, so after speaking with the defendant, Nisqually, he has represented to me that his name is Zion Goss, last name Goss, although I have not been able to verify if that is indeed his true and legal name.
And Ms. Pace, how are you wanting to proceed this afternoon?
Your Honor, we would need a date of birth for, I'm sorry, Mr. Songa, can you say his last name again? Is it Voss like V or Voss like B?
Sorry, it's Goss, like G as in goose. Yeah.
Goose, okay. Thank you. We would need Mr. Goss's date of birth. And then we would amend the filing.
And just for the record too, a jab search did not produce any results either with that name.
All right. So at this point in time, it does not appear that we have a true name for this individual. So we can go ahead and proceed with the arraignment under John Doe until we are able to verify the correct name for this individual. I don't know if there's been any attempt by the Nisqually Corrections staff to identify him via fingerprints or not. I will leave that to the parties. But at this point in time, we can certainly go ahead and proceed with the arraignment for the individual listed as John Doe. Sir, in the jail, you are being arraigned as a John Doe under cause number 24L002230. I know you've indicated to your counsel that your name is Zion Goss, but we have been unable to verify that name at this time. You've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass in the second degree. That is a simple misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Mr. Songa, are you prepared to proceed with John Doe's arraignment at this time?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. This is Anurag Songa present here with the John Doe defendant under cause number 24L002230 on for arraignment. And after speaking with the defendant, he has received the city's criminal complaint. The defense would waive a formal reading and ask that the court enter a plea of not guilty. The defense would stipulate a probable cause for today's hearing only. And after screening, the defendant has indicated to me that based on his employment status, he would qualify for public defense without a promissory note, and we would seek appointment to our office. Thank you.
Thank you. Court will enter a plea of not guilty for John Doe at this time. We'll waive formal reading. We'll accept the stipulation of probable cause for purposes of today's hearing only. Court will now hear from Ms. Pace regarding conditions of release in this matter.
Your Honor, without a verified true and legal name and his date of birth, I've not been able to look up any of his criminal history or potential criminal history or his appearances. Your Honor, I would ask, based on his inability or unwillingness to provide any kind of information, I would ask for a small bond to assure his appearance in the future.
Thank you. Mr. Songa?
Thank you, Your Honor. Defense would request that the defendant be released on his own personal recognizance and promise to return. Like the city, I've not been able to access any of his criminal history or DCH or anything like that. However, I believe under 3.2, the least restrictive means is to release the defendant on his own personal recognizance and promise to return. At least with that way, he would still receive the paperwork necessary that would inform him of his next court date. And I believe that would be the appropriate course of action at this time, and I hope the court would consider my request. Thank you.
Thank you. The court is going to impose bail in this matter in the amount of $1,000 cash or bond. The reason being is that pursuant to CRLJ 3.2, the court is required to do an inquiry into 3 factors concerning whether or not the defendant is likely to commit a criminal offense, likely to interfere with the administration of justice, or fail to appear for future proceedings. Because at this time we do not know this defendant's true legal name and date of birth, essentially the parties as well as the court are blind to his criminal history or lack thereof, his warrant history or lack thereof, and any and all other information that the court would ordinarily rely upon in determining whether or not the defendant is suitable for release on personal recognizance. Until such time as we have more information, the court is going to err on the side of making the finding that it is very likely that an individual who is not providing their true name is not likely to appear for future proceedings. And it's very possibly interfering with the administration of justice by withholding that information. So the court will go ahead and set bail in the amount of $1,000 cash or bond. We will set a pretrial conference in this case pretty quickly. Today is Monday. Madam Clerk, when is the next available? Friday? Okay, why don't we go ahead and set this for an in-custody pretrial on Friday. That will be Friday at 11 a.m. The other conditions that will apply, the court is going to appoint the Horwath law offices based upon the record that's been made by Mr. Songa. Court is also going to order that the defendant had no criminal law violations, update the court, and Mr. Songa immediately of any change of address. The court is going to order as a standard condition to use only his true legal name and date of birth. And unfortunately, I'm not sure that the defendant is complying with that at this point in time. Those will be the conditions of the court. And obviously, Mr. Songa, if you receive updated information from your client as to his identity that would allow the court to do a more proper inquiry into the factors under CRLJ 3.2, we can schedule this matter before the court sooner. But at this point in time, barring that additional information, we'll set a pretrial for Friday morning at 11 a.m.
Understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Pace.
I'm not sure what the proper protocol is, if the court can illuminate me or not, but I was wondering if there's a way to have Mr. Goss fingerprinted to see if that might illuminate his identity.
Yeah, you kind of read my mind, Ms. Pace. That's ordinarily beyond the province of the court.
Okay.
What I would strongly recommend that your office consider doing is having a conversation with the booking staff at the Nisqually jail about their ability to run this defendant's fingerprints through the APHIS system to see if they return with a hit. They conclusively identify him. Obviously, if you do come up with that information, if you could provide that to Mr. Songa so that Mr. Songa can then have a conversation with the client in an effort to verify that information as well. But I think that would be a very prudent course of action.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
The court has signed that order. Sir, thank you. You can go ahead and let the officer know that your hearing is concluded.
That arraignment left no room for ambiguity. The judge set a $1,000 bond and ordered fingerprints to confirm the defendant's identity. But it raises deeper questions about what led to this situation. Is this someone experiencing a mental health crisis and in need of help? Or is there something more menacing lurking behind the mystery? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.